All right, gonna run down Forex, futures, and crypto real quick. Start with the Aussie CAD. Trend still bullish. Nothing really new there. Good day today. Aussie Swiss, same thing. Testing highs. Trend still bullish, well above the breakout of the range. Testing highs. Aussie Yen still holding above this trend line. Watch to see how it reacts if it ever gets there, but trend still positive. Aussie New Zealand, no position, but clearly an upward trend. Can use this as your base here as long as we stay above there, still positive. Aussie dollar, similar setup. Let me get rid of this channel. Still positive, 7642. It's a little bit more bearish than the yen and the Swiss against Australian dollar, but net trend is still positive. Let's wait to see if it ever does get to this level, how it reacts, because the dollar has been so oversold, but still positive. Bitcoin reacting well to this support area. As long as these slow holds, trend is still positive. Could see a bounce within the next couple of days, although I don't really know about a surge past 41,000, but trend is still positive in Bitcoin. CAD Swiss, no position. CAD Yen, still holding, looking for this range breakout. As long as risk trends, the overall equity markets across the world stay positive, I think this wants to see above 82, especially as crude oils continue to rally. But with all that being said, because things have been rallying and this hasn't, maybe there's more weakness to come. I'm going to use 80.50 as the line in the sand. As long as we stay above there, trend is still positive. As I just mentioned, crude oil, another big day today. I don't know if it can keep this vertical pace, but trend is definitely still positive. E-mini S&Ps, trend is still positive, held in today. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more selling. Let's see what Thursday brings with Joe Biden's plan and inauguration and all the chaos that seems to be going on. With all that being said, equity market is still strong, holding in this range. So until that changes, we're not going to change. Ethereum, similar to Bitcoin, see if we can hold this area. Trend is still positive. Euro Aussie, that game plan has continued to work. Another down day today. Trend is still negative until something changes. I mean, if you're into the downside, maybe you want to use the trend line from this range breakout kind of as a marker. As long as we stay below there, definitely still to the downside. Euro CAD, nothing super range bound, although I think it wants to get down to this 252 day at some point. Let's see. Euro Swiss range bound, nothing, no position. Okay, Euro Pound, looking to add to the short potentially. See how price reacts tonight and tomorrow morning. But I think it wants to get back down toward range lows, the larger range lows here at 8870. But I'll send a signal out if we can get some more selling this evening. Euro Yen still holding here above range highs, kind of just dancing with it. I mean, as long as the equity market holds up and risk trends hold up, trend is still positive, so we might get a further breakout here. Euro New Zealand, we're tested on this potential reversal, rejected at the range lows. Unless the trend changes, I think 1.68 is the next stop. If we do get a reversal, then I'll play the reversal. You just wait for the signal, but I'll play that reversal as well. But for now, the trend is still down. Euro dollar, short worked out, gave up a lot of that short today. This has kind of been a little bit of a hedge because we have positive risk currency positions across the board, and we're short the dollar in other areas. I think I'm going to trim some of this position. I'll send out a post about it, but still in the money. I'm not confident in the euro breakout, but technically the trend is still higher. We didn't really get this close below 121 that I was hoping for. So for now, the overall trend is still higher, although we are currently short. But I'll put out a post later this evening that kind of talks about what my game plan is for that. I don't want to have this turn into a loser, but for now, um, overall trend higher, even though we're still short. Pound Australian dollar, no position, but it's flirting with this range area. I think, again, the trend overall is lower. So unless we can clear this range high, I'd be looking to sell, although no position. Pound CAD, nothing. Pound Swiss finally got this big day today. See if it can get back towards range highs here at 122, 1.22. It's been patient with this one and finally got this big semi breakout day. So let's see how it reacts, but it looks good. Pound yen looks good. Looks like it wants to see 142.70. We'll see. As long as it stays above the range here, trend is still positive. Pound New Zealand, similar to Pound Aussie, similar to Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand. Trend is still down, even though we've had this nice bounce for these 3 or 4 days. Pound dollar tested yesterday. Huge response today. Very happy with that. So as long as this 1.3430 area holds, I think the trend is still to the upside. I think this breakout is still intact. Gold, I'm still looking to be a seller. I'd like to see it come a little bit more into this range here. But on any strength, I'm actually looking to sell. So hopefully within the next couple of days, I'll have a signal for that. But I still think the trend in gold is bearish. Copper is still strong, no position. Chainlink, hold it in. Hold it in. Trend is still to the upside. We'd have to have a close below $12.33 in order for me to change my position, but the trend is still to the upside for now. Litecoin, similar to Bitcoin, similar situation. Can use the yearly low right here. This low here is a line in the sand. Should not close below 119 really. If we do, that's more ominous, and this breakout play, I'll take profits. But as long as we stay above here, even if we just chop around in this 140, 150 area, the trend is still positive. Natural gas, obviously shorted a day early. Still haven't been able to get back in this though, so right now neutral, but I am looking to sell. Nikkei, trend still up. NASDAQ had a little bit of a scare today, but I mean, trend is definitely still higher, still well above the range. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, trend is still higher, holding this breakout. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, holding this breakout, holding the secondary breakout of the smaller range. Let's see what happens within the next couple days, but trend is still higher. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, same thing. Trend is still higher. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, a little bit more of a test, but again, trend is still higher. So you can see some deceleration, but still positive. And until price tells us otherwise, got to respect the trend. Palladium, nothing, but sitting in this range here. Let's see if we can get some real clearance above this 2,500 area, then I think there could be an explosion higher. But for now, just a lot of pent up demand. Let's see. Platinum, big day today. Trend is higher. Cut that long position. Haven't had a chance to re-enter. Let's see how it acts these next couple days, but the trend is definitely still to the upside. Russell, huge day. I mean, it's extraordinary to be honest. On a near-term basis, you can watch this level, but even if there is some heavy selling in the Russell, which will come eventually, again, the trend on a more weekly basis, which is what I like to look at 1920 here, is definitely still positive. Silver, same thing as gold. Reversal back into the range. I'll allow gold to kind of be the signal. If I'm going to sell gold, then I'm going to sell silver. They're correlated enough right now, especially to the downside. I think they'll be more correlated, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's see how it unfolds in the next couple of days. But so far, nothing. U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar. Now, looking for this reversal back into the range. It's probably a little bit early, um, but I'm going to hold this position. I don't mind even this, getting stopped out if it curls all the way back down towards these lows. But I still think that it broke this trend line, and although it went down today, it's still holding. Now I could just give it all up and test the lows again, but for now I'm going to continue to hold this position, even though the trend is technically still to the downside. US dollar, Swiss franc, no position there. Same thing, Japanese yen came back into the range, down day. Too choppy though, I'm not trading it. US dollar, Mexican peso, got burned on that short. Again, probably too early. Let's see how it acts when it tests the low end of the range, assuming it does. If there's strong selling, then I might take this range breakout to the downside, but I'll send a signal if I do. For now, just watching it. US dollar, South African rand. Played this short yesterday. So far, so good. I think it wants to get back into this range. Once it gets in here, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to watch to see how price reacts. There could be some buying pressure because it did have a strong up week. And so even though I think we'll come back into this range and retest this area, I'm going to move my stop to break even. I don't want to have this turn into a loser because it can move quickly to the upside. But waiting to see. So far, position is good. VIX, I still think VIX has to get below 20 at some point. Not has to, I shouldn't say that. Price just never has to do anything. But the pressure on VIX is always to the downside unless there is something to be afraid of. And even though there is a lot to be afraid of potentially, given all that is going on, once things happen, even things like Wednesday at the Capitol, they kind of get priced in. And barring some real chaos, I think the pressure is still down on the VIX. And I mean, even though the VIX has been elevated, the market has continued to make all-time highs. So at some point, something's going to have to give. And my bet right now is the VIX, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, as long as the equity market trend is bullish, I have to assume the VIX trend is bearish. Ripple held in there today. Nothing really going on. Looking for this reversal back to the high end of the range here. We got it. See if it can clear here and head back towards 40 cents. I haven't really been following the whole SEC thing that closely, but because it's still trading and it's not collapsing, I'm assuming that whatever that is will get settled one way or another. And as long as the currency doesn't disappear, as long as the crypto space in general still has positive trend, I think XRP has some tailwinds. Dow, same thing as S&P, actually up on the day, still holding strong. Again, the trend is intact, so we're not going to fight it. Bonds, put out a post about this earlier. This range breakdown trade is good. Now it has cleared this other, larger range. It's tested this low here, this March low at 167.05. It could bounce these next couple days, but the trend is definitely still to the upside. As long as we can stay below this 170 area, I think there's more selling to come. And then last but not least, wheat. Great reversal play back into the range, has held range highs. Huge day today. This is part of the pro-inflation move. You see it in crude oil. You saw it in copper. Wheat is just another token of that. You see it in bonds. People are definitely pricing in some level of inflation, or that trade is being priced in. And so as long as it's being priced in, we're going to continue to ride it. So wheat is still strong. And I think that's it.